This guide is called Omni Ogre. It's really just talking about how you can play any class race combination in EverQuest Legends that you want to play. But I'm going to be talking about things in terms of playing an Ogre because I think that's what most people are going to use this guide and this method for. Do an achievement-based quest where you basically ramp your faction up to ally for various factions within the race. I'm going to link this guide in the description. I'm not going to get into the details here, but it's an awesome guide by Alana. It gives you the breakdown for everything you need. During the beta, I did the Qeynos human unlock, and for launch, I plan on doing the Wood Elf one since it's quite a bit cheaper, and I know that I want to be a ranger. Again, I'm going to play an Ogre. Ogre is, objectively the best race in the game. They have exceptional strength and stamina, which are really the only two attributes that matter in EverQuest in general, arguably. They have frontal stun immunity from physical attacks, of course, and they have slam, which is just a racial bash you get. Biggest downside, of course, is they're huge. Luckily, you have the refugee shroud. You can farm from Blackburrow. If you don't know where this comes from, check out my last video. I go into detail and show you how to farm it. In this guide, we're going to talk about how I got started, path I took, and how to farm some cash. So I like to start Beast Lord Wizard, and then I'm just going to leave Ogre, and I'm going to head straight down near the Zone to Wrath Mountains because there's going to be a ton of yellow com mods there, and I'm going to farm there till level 4. At level 4, you can either go straight to Wrath Mountains, that's fine, or what I like to do is I like to switch to Enchanter so that I have Invis, which will help make my journey a little bit easier. I like to go up to Qeynos. You can go up to Freeport. I think they're both fine, but this guide, I'm going to talk about going up to Qeynos. Once you're in Wrath Mountains, it's a pretty easy run. The only thing you need to worry about are the scarabs that spawn around the Shaman Totem, around number 12 on the map here. I have a red circle for it. So Enchanter, so you can just invis by that, but if you need to stop and fight your way through it or pacify through it, you can do that too. It's all good. You should be fine. While you're doing this run, just make sure that you have your Poverty J-Boost clicky running. That thing turns off if you do basically anything, so you're going to need to keep reapplying that. It's really going to cut down on how long this run is going to take. Once you get into Lake Wrath, just jump into the drink and swim across to South Karana. There's nothing scary happening here. You just got to do it. And then once you get into South Karana, use /pick, and that'll deposit you at the northernmost part of the zone. You'll skip a massive run and a pretty dangerous run. And once you do that, go ahead and zone into North Karana. And I like to just kind of hop off into the drink as soon as I zone in and start running over to West Karana. But I suppose if you're an Enchanter, you can just invis yourself and run through the guards. That's all good. Once you get into West Karana, again, you're going to zone in the far right part of the map here. You use your /pick again, and that's going to drop you off right next to the Qeynos Hills zone line, which is awesome. And then you're just going to zone straight into Qeynos Hills. Once you get into Qeynos Hills, just run south. When you get into Qeynos, make sure that you have Enchanter picked as one of your classes and invis yourself up. Go ahead and run through the gate and head down to South Qeynos. Once you get into South Qeynos, you're just going to do a find for, I can't pronounce this NPC's name, Selamarie Mar, and that's going to be an Enchanter spell vendor. She's going to sell the illusion spells. The spell you're looking for here is Human Illusion. Once you get to the vendor, the best way to get her to sell to you is to switch off of Enchanter and onto Rogue in your loadout and start sneaking. Stand behind her and sneak, and keep right-clicking her. Do sneak, right-click, until you get a successful sneak. She'll sell to you, pick up the Human Illusion, and cast it on yourself straight away, or re-invis yourself, and then head to the docks, which is number 15 on the map here. In EverQuest Legends, the translocators at the docks in Qeynos and Freeport can actually teleport you to Freeport from Qeynos and vice versa, which is a huge quality of life upgrade. So, like I said, I don't think it really matters if you go to Qeynos or Freeport right away, since once you're there, you can kind of jump to the other one, no problem. And then now the next step of the quest is you need to start making some money. I'm going to talk about 4 options, but go to Crushbone. And once you go to Crushbone, you're just going to get incredible items, and you're going to make money really fast. But in the beta, when people were doing this, the meta was to go to West Commons and kill Will-O-Wisps. This was fine. I was really thankful to be a Beast Lord when I was out here because there's a lot of like Kodiak that will aggro you if you aren't a Beast Lord, Druid, or Ranger. So that was really helpful, and I just ran around and killed Will-O-Wisps, and that was just fine. The worst part about being out here, even though it is a little slow on EXP, it's everything's like yellow con, so it's not the worst. But you don't get any gear out here. Like nothing really drops anything. So what I did see some people start doing closer to the end of the beta was they would just go to like Befallen or wherever they want to level up early and get to level 10, and then they would head out to Nectulos Forest and start killing these guards on the bridge here. It was kind of funny. Like nobody ever messed with these guards until like 3 or 4 days before the beta was closing down, and then I saw people at the guard bridge all the time. And the guards are fine. So there's 3 guards. They're on a 4-minute respawn, and they always drop a bronze weapon, which as an ugly ogre, I think I'll sell them for 2 platinum, 3 gold each. The only two spicy considerations here are the guards have a massive social range, and the second thing is they're not always these nice cozy yellow guards that spawn. Sometimes corporal spawn, and I saw two when I was out there testing, and one was level 19 and one was level 24, but I was able to kill each one of those at level 10, so even though it was a little bit harder, you can do it. It's just gonna suck a little bit more. Another spot that I really liked was the Warrens. This is in Peniel. I have this map here because there's two level 10 Peniel guards here. They truck. When I ran through and died, that's the damage I was taking from them at level 10. So they're massive undercons. I put their names up so you can target, and so what I recommend doing is change your loadout to a cleric, target each of these guys, pacify them, run through, and then before you zone into the Warrens, switch your loadout. The Warrens is great because you make a ton of cash from selling bronze weapons. They start dropping bronze weapons really early there. They also drop like ring melt armor and other stuff you need for like the erudite race unlock quests, so it was pretty cool. But like I said, I'm just going to go to Crush Bones. The items here are incredible and the money's good too, so even though it's a little off the beaten path for the Ogre path, I'm going to run out to Crush Bone and do it that way. Once you get level 10, you need to go complete the quest, you know, buy your honey meat or barley wine or muffins or whatever else, red wine, whatever else you're doing. Go buy that stuff and go do the turn-ins. Remember that you can switch your classes around as you're doing this stuff to get the extra, like, you know, tools that they may have at their disposal. Things like going rogue so you can sneak and do turn-ins, going enchanter so you can use an illusion spell, stuff like that will really help. Once you complete and unlock the race, go ahead and switch to that race and set your primary class to the one that you plan on playing. You're going to go back out and you're going to keep leveling until you hit level 11. Once you hit level 11, you'll see this pop up and it's going to say, hey, do you want to lock in, you know, as long as you're playing the class and with the deity that you want to play to 50, say yes here, say lock. And then once you lock it in, you can go back to this screen and then switch from, if you're a dark elf, let's say that your primary is a dark elf wizard, you can change your race here and you'll stay locked in as a wizard. So that's essentially how you do it. The last tip I'll give you is when you get level 10 and you're going to the vendors to buy the muffins or the red wine or whatever you need, consider changing your second class to a shaman. Shaman at level 10 get an auto grant charisma buff called Spirit of Snake, and it's 15 charisma. Doesn't sound like a lot, but a guy in my guild said that he did the red wine quest, and instead of the normal like 40 platinum, it cost him like 30. So I haven't tested it myself, but I mean, it could save you a little bit of money, which would be great in the short term. So, all right, it's Saturday night. We got EverQuest Legends in about 2.5 days. Looking forward to it. I'm going to try to squeeze out 1 or 2 more videos before then, but thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you for the next one.